Hey, B, of course, it's always better to have to make corrections after a win. I mean, you guys got four legitimate takeaways, which is as good as you can hope for, but you guys also gave up 240 on the ground, which is as bad as you ever want to see. How do you reconcile having those two things? And from your perspective, being on the back end, but also on film, what are you seeing in terms of how you guys can go about correcting that to cleaning that up? So is it physical? Is it mental? What's going into the run, D?
No, I think it's a mix of both. I think, we're not fitting up the run as well as we need to. Um, a lot of it also is not getting enough not back penetration uh with the front four, front seven, whatever you may be. And then obviously on the back end, guys like myself included, when those runs do break out, we need to be able to get those guys down. And myself, I didn't do a good enough job of that yesterday on the big I think the 64-yard run. So it's everybody included. It's not just the D line or the linebackers. It's all of us included. We all got to be better. But like you said, getting those takeaways is huge. Taking points off the board is huge for team success. And at the end of the day, yards is yards. You want to be able to limit those yards, but the most important thing is getting the win. And like I said, taking points off the board and being good in the red zone.
On the big one that did pop, when you talk about filling those alleys, for you specifically on that 64-yard, are we talking about angles or are we talking about just getting them down once you did get there?
Well, honestly, I thought I took as good as angles as I could because honestly, when I was coming downhill, I really didn't even see him, and he kind of just spit out of there. I mean, the guy has burst, he got speed. I mean, he kind of got a good angle, but I tried to take it I call it like a J course to make sure that I was going to be inside out. And honestly, man, I make those Gator roll tackles all day, every day. But like I said after the game, man, shout out to Aston Genty. He has elite contact balance. He basically just high stepped out of there. You know what I mean? So. I usually make those tackles, but it was no excuse. But like I said, man, he made a really good play, really good run, and like I said, he had a great game yesterday.
Thanks. We'll go next to Steve Leventhal. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I just wanted to know after the first two tough losses, what does it feel like now to get two good wins in a row, including one on the road?
I mean, it feels great. It feels great to get our first road win for sure. But at the end of the day, we're still a 500 team. The energy obviously is good around the building. When you win two straight, head into the bye week, the self-scout feels a little bit better because, you're on a win streak. But at the end of the day, we're still a work in progress as a team. We still have so much more to get better at on all sides of the ball. So we're optimistic for sure, but we're not sitting around just resting on that going to this bye week. We understand that we're still a work in progress. We got great talent, we got great players, but at the end of the day, we got to continue to get better and continue to come together as a team to continue to stack these wins like we want to.
Anybody else? We'll go to Patrick Norton.
Hey there, Kevin. What were you reading on your two interceptions from Geno Smith in particularly, and just kind of how did that come about both in the first half? Just what were you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, these are, scouted looks that, honestly, just the preparation starting the early week of practice. Obviously, DA installed certain defenses for this week. And we kind of just based on film study, there was a couple looks that I kind of knew that, hey, if I get this formation, I was kind of already understanding what was the route concepts going to be, especially knowing that 16 is a more of an intermediate route runner. He's one of their main receivers, main guys they want to target. Obviously, 89 is probably number one, but his knee's been a little hobbled. So for some reason, they really didn't get him too involved yesterday in the pass game. But a lot of that also was just kind of baiting the quarterback, making them think that I was about to take one route and be able to trust my eyes and my preparation to go make a play when I got those looks. So, like I said, it was just huge to be able to get those. There's something that honestly that you usually practice all the time, and you might make the plays in practice, and you don't never get the opportunity to make them in the game. So, it was really good to put that teach tape out there for all the other teams in the league to let them know how to bait a quarterback and go make those plays.
All right, we'll go back to Herb Howard.
Maybe as a vet, what have you found to be the most useful way to spend a bye week in terms of coming back healthy and ready for the next stretch? And how do you feel about where the bye week fell, particularly for y'all this year?
Yeah, I want to say this is the earliest bye week I've ever had. Normally, And coaches have done it different ways. Normally, when it's late in the year, bye week, sometimes you get the whole week off. By it being so early, we still got to continue to get better as a team. So I think we'll have a couple practice days this week. But for me, you got to get away from it mentally, at least for a couple of days, a few days. And then obviously as the weekend comes along, me personally, I don't know about everybody else, but I watch all the games. I'm a football fan. I'm a fan of this league. So I obviously got a lot of friends around the league. So I'm gonna watch all the games this weekend, and that obviously will keep me locked in to the games. But you got to get away from it a little bit mentally. But at the same time, don't get too far away from the game. So I try to watch some highlights, spend some family time while I'm doing that. So, but yeah, just continue to get in recovery. I'll still be getting my IVs, doing all my good stuff that I always do throughout the week. Because like I said, it's still early in the year. I don't want to get away from my routine.
All right, that's it. Thank you guys.
No problem.